Imagine a world where superhuman abilities aren't just confined to comic books and blockbuster movies. What if I told you that right now, on our very planet, there are people who possess extraordinary powers, reminiscent of the X-Men? From mind-boggling physical feats to cognitive skills that defy conventional science, these real-life X-Men push the boundaries of what humans are capable of. In today's video, we'll explore the stories of these individuals, the unique abilities, the science behind their talents, and what these abilities mean for the future of humanity. And no, we're not talking about special effects or fictional mutations. This is the real deal. Buckle up, because what you're about to discover might just change your perception of human potential forever. The unbelievable strength of real-life superhumans. Let's begin with one of the most iconic superpowers we associate with superheroes, super strength. While we might not have people lifting buildings or stopping trains with their bare hands, there are individuals out there whose physical capabilities go far beyond what you'd expect from an average human being. Dennis Rogers and extraordinary grip strength. One famous case is that of Dennis Rogers, a man known as the world's strongest man. Rogers is capable of feats like bending steel bars, tearing phone books in half, and lifting thousands of pounds, all things that seem straight out of a superhero film. His incredible grip strength has been measured to be 10 times stronger than that of an average person. To put that into perspective, the average grip strength of a man is around 72.6 kilograms, 160 pounds. Dennis Rogers has achieved grip strength over 730 kilograms, 1,600 pounds. But why is Rogers able to do this? What makes his muscles so different? Scientists have studied Rogers and others like him to understand what makes them different, and it turns out that much of it comes down to unique muscle fiber composition. Rogers possesses a significantly higher percentage of fast-twitch muscle fibers, the type responsible for explosive bursts of power. Fast-twitch fibers contract quickly, allowing individuals like Rogers to generate immense force in a short amount of time. Yet, there's a more intriguing debate here. Can everyone develop this kind of strength, or is it purely genetic? While genetics plays a big role, it turns out that training techniques and mental conditioning also play a huge part. Rogers himself has said that mental discipline, focus, and visualization of power are essential components of his strength feats. The connection between the mind and body is evident, showing that mental conditioning can unlock abilities that many would deem superhuman. The science behind hysterical strength. Now, consider the case of Tom Boyle, who in 2006, lifted the front end of a car off a child who had been pinned beneath it after an accident. Boyle is a normal man with no formal weightlifting background, yet in a moment of life or death urgency, his body summoned the strength to perform this incredible feat. This phenomenon is known as hysterical strength, where extreme stress and adrenaline enable an individual to tap into a level of strength that far exceeds their usual capacity. What exactly happens during these moments? Studies have shown that under extreme duress, the body releases large amounts of adrenaline, a hormone that enhances muscle performance. However, even more fascinating is the brain's role in regulating strength. Under normal conditions, the brain limits muscle use to prevent damage. But during moments of crisis, these limits are lifted, allowing people to access far more of their muscles' capacity than normal. The numbers behind this are staggering. It is estimated that in normal conditions, humans only use about 65% of their muscle strength. Under extreme adrenaline-fueled conditions, this number can increase to 90% or even higher. That's an additional 25% of potential strength that's usually locked away, waiting for the right stimulus to unlock it. However, this incredible strength comes at a cost. The body's natural limits are there for a reason. When these limits are bypassed, muscle fibers, tendons, and bones are at risk of tearing or breaking. In the case of hysterical strength, there have been documented cases of individuals suffering long-term injuries due to their bodies pushing beyond their normal capacity. Controversy surrounding superhuman strength. But not everyone believes in the phenomenon of hysterical strength. Some scientists argue that what seems like extraordinary feats are often exaggerated or influenced by adrenaline-induced alterations in perception. In short, people might think they're doing more than they actually are. This leads us to a controversial question. Just how much of our human potential is psychological, and how much of it is truly physiological? Studies on mental training and visualization techniques have shown that athletes who mentally rehearse their exercises can see physical improvements in their performance, suggesting that mental discipline plays a key role in unlocking human abilities. Real-life clairvoyance and enhanced senses. While super strength might be the most visually impressive of superpowers, real-life abilities aren't always about physical prowess. Some people possess abilities that seem to give them a sixth sense, an almost psychic awareness of the world around them. Hyperthymesia, memory that defies the norm. Take, for example, individuals with hyperthymesia, a rare condition where a person can remember almost every detail of their lives with perfect accuracy. People with hyperthymesia, like Jill Price, who has been studied extensively by scientists, can recall events from decades ago with a clarity that seems impossible to the average person. Price, who describes her ability as both a gift and a curse, is able to recollect not just major life events but also the most mundane moments, such as what she ate for lunch on a specific date 20 years ago. The numbers tell the story of just how rare this ability is. Fewer than 100 people have been diagnosed with hyperthymesia worldwide, making it one of the rarest cognitive abilities on the planet. The average human's memory works by consolidating and discarding unimportant details over time, but those with hyperthymesia seem to bypass this process. Instead, their memories remain vivid and readily accessible for years. But there's more to this power than just remembering everything. It raises important questions about the limits of human memory. Is it possible for us all to access memories as vivid as those with hyperthymesia? Researchers are delving into the neural mechanisms behind this condition, hoping to unlock the secret to improved memory retention for everyone. Early research suggests that our brains might be capable of storing far more information than we currently use. While most people's memories degrade over time, those with hyperthymesia seem to bypass this limitation, offering insights into how we might improve memory retention through training or even genetic interventions. Synesthesia, the blending of senses. Then there's the case of people with synesthesia, a condition that allows them to experience a blending of the senses. For example, someone with synesthesia might see music as colors or taste words. Daniel Tammet, a famous synesthete and savant, can recite the number pi to over 22,000 decimal places, and attributes much of his numerical ability to his synesthetic experience of numbers. For him, numbers take on unique colors, shapes, and textures, making them easier to remember and manipulate in his mind. Synesthesia is more common than you might think, affecting around 4% of the population. Yet, many synesthetes aren't even aware they have it. They might think it's normal to see certain letters as red or taste sweetness when hearing specific sounds. But what's even more interesting is that synesthesia isn't just a random quirk of perception, it might offer real cognitive benefits. Studies show that synesthetes often perform better in memory and creativity tests than non-synesthetes. Enhanced perception and survival. Another form of heightened awareness is called enhanced perception, and it's far more than just a party trick. Some individuals possess heightened senses that have saved their lives. Take, for example, cases of individuals who claim they could feel impending natural disasters. Anecdotal reports suggest that some people experience physical symptoms or a heightened sense of anxiety just before earthquakes, tornadoes, or other extreme weather events. While scientific evidence is still limited, research into this phenomenon continues, with some scientists speculating that tiny, undetectable shifts in the environment might be sensed by individuals who are particularly attuned to these changes. For instance, animals have long been observed fleeing areas right before earthquakes occur, and some researchers believe that humans might possess a similar ability, though we're usually not as in tune with our surroundings. This raises an interesting possibility. Could these heightened senses be developed in all of us? Could individuals be trained or genetically modified to increase their environmental awareness and survival instincts? It's a controversial idea, but one that may not be far off as science continues to explore the boundaries of human perception. The true story of real-life, mind control. When we talk about the X-Men, one of the most iconic abilities is telepathy, the power to read minds or control the thoughts of others. While telepathy in the way it's portrayed in fiction may not exist, there are individuals who possess mind-related powers that almost seem supernatural. Ninal Kalyana, an alleged psychokinesis. One of the most famous cases is that of Russian-born Ninal Kalyana, who gained fame during the Cold War for her alleged psychokinetic abilities. Kalyana claimed to be able to move objects with her mind, and Soviet scientists conducted over 50 tests on her abilities. In one famous experiment, she appeared to move a compass needle without touching it. Although Kalina's abilities were never conclusively proven by Western standards, she remains a subject of fascination in the realm of paranormal research. Critics, however, argue that Kalina's abilities were simply the result of clever tricks or manipulation of the testing environment. Yet, believers point to the sheer number of controlled tests and the involvement of respected Soviet scientists as evidence that something unusual was happening. This controversy highlights a key point: many of the abilities we'll explore today are not universally accepted. Science often requires hard evidence, and when that evidence isn't available, skepticism arises. But it's important to remember that even in cases where abilities can't be scientifically verified, the people claiming these abilities often genuinely believe in them, and in some cases, their abilities have been corroborated by multiple witnesses and observers. Modern mind control and hypnosis today, the closest scientific analog to mind control, is found in individuals with extraordinary skills in hypnosis and suggestion. Hypnosis itself is a controversial subject, with some dismissing it as pseudoscience while others hail it as a powerful psychological tool. People like Derren Brown, a British mentalist and illusionist, have pushed the boundaries of hypnosis, showing that it's possible to influence thoughts, decisions, and even physical sensations in subjects. In one famous demonstration, Brown convinced an unsuspecting participant to unknowingly commit a simulated armed robbery, purely through the power of suggestion. While this might not qualify as telepathy in the traditional sense, it shows the extent to which the human mind can be influenced under the right circumstances. But hypnosis isn't just for show. Medical hypnosis is used in a variety of therapeutic settings to help individuals manage pain, cope with stress, and even recover from traumatic experiences. Studies show that hypnotized individuals can experience real changes in perception, pain sensitivity, and memory retrieval. According to the American Psychological Association, approximately 15% of people are highly hypnotizable, meaning they can experience dramatic shifts in behavior and perception while under hypnosis. Could this suggest that some form of mind control is already a part of our cognitive toolkit? Extreme endurance and real-life healing factors. One of the X-Men's most iconic characters is Wolverine, known for his rapid healing ability and extraordinary endurance. While we may not have anyone with the ability to regenerate from a gunshot wound in seconds, there are individuals whose endurance and healing capabilities defy explanation. Wim Hof and cold endurance. Consider Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman. Hof has set world records for withstanding extreme cold, including swimming under ice and running a half marathon in temperatures as low as 20 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees Fahrenheit, while wearing only shorts. His ability to endure freezing conditions has been attributed to his unique breathing techniques, which he claims allow him to control his autonomic nervous system and immune response. Hof's extraordinary feats have been studied extensively, and the science is both impressive and somewhat controversial. Hof's breathing technique involves hyperventilation followed by breath holding, which increases the body's oxygen levels and appears to activate a fight or flight response. The result? Hof and his followers claim to experience heightened focus, increased endurance, and improved immune function. But Hof's abilities go beyond just withstanding cold. Scientists studying him have found that he can voluntarily influence his heart rate, cortisol levels, and even his immune system's response to bacteria. In a controlled experiment, Hof and a group of volunteers he trained were injected with an endotoxin designed to induce flu-like symptoms. While the control group exhibited typical symptoms, Hof's group showed significantly reduced immune responses, suggesting that they could control their body's reaction to illness. What's more, Hof claims that his techniques can be learned by anyone, and his followers have reported similar results in overcoming chronic illnesses, depression, and anxiety. This suggests that the human body might have untapped potential for healing and endurance, far beyond what we currently understand. Joe Cameron and super healing. Then there's the case of super healers, individuals with a genetic mutation that accelerates the healing process. One well-known example is Joe Cameron, a Scottish woman who feels almost no pain and heals from injuries at an incredibly fast rate. Cameron has a rare genetic mutation that affects the FAAH gene, which regulates pain sensitivity and inflammation. As a result, her body produces higher levels of anandamide, a chemical that acts like a natural painkiller, giving her Wolverine-like healing powers. Researchers are studying Cameron's genetics to develop new treatments for chronic pain and inflammatory diseases. Could we one day unlock the secret to rapid healing in all of us? Scientists believe that with advancements in gene editing technologies like CRISPR, it might be possible to give more people enhanced healing abilities by modifying certain genes. The future of superhuman abilities, as we've seen, there are already individuals walking among us with abilities that border on the superhuman. But what does this mean for the future of humanity? Are we all capable of developing extraordinary abilities, or are these individuals simply genetic anomalies? One possibility is that through technological advancements, we will all be able to enhance our natural abilities. Brain-computer interfaces, gene editing, and biohacking are just some of the fields that could make superhuman abilities accessible to everyone. Companies like Neuralink are already working on technology that could allow us to control machines with our minds, and with advancements in CRISPR, we may soon be able to modify our own DNA to enhance strength, endurance, or cognitive abilities. However, these advancements come with ethical questions. If superhuman abilities become available to those who can afford them, will we create a new class of enhanced humans, leaving others behind? And what are the implications of augmenting the human body beyond its natural limits? Moreover, as we enhance our abilities, we must consider the impact on society. How will sports, education, and even relationships change when people can surpass natural human limitations? The rise of superhuman abilities may force us to redefine what it means to be human. In conclusion, while we may not have superheroes flying through the sky or controlling the weather, real-life X-Men do exist. From super strength to enhanced memory, extraordinary healing to endurance in extreme conditions, these individuals remind us that the potential of the human body and mind is far greater than we once believed. As science continues to uncover the mysteries behind these abilities, we may find that what we consider superhuman today could become the norm tomorrow. But for now, these real-life X-Men offer a glimpse into what might be possible for all of us. Whether through genetic mutations, intense training, or technological enhancement, the future of humanity may be closer to the world of superheroes than we ever imagined. What abilities might we all unlock in the years to come? Only time will tell.